Parenting isn't easy, and raising a child with special needs is more challenging. Today, we dive into autism and parenting, autism being something that has been stigmatized for a long time, and it still is in many ways. Today, we try to understand one from a parent who has a son living with autism. Welcome to Ready Aiders TV. I am Linet Mumo. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So maybe to start you off, can you maybe tell me a little bit about yourself, your family, and your parenting journey?
My name is David Karani. I'm a proud father of a son 8 years old, living with autism. And I'm also a husband, a father of 2 boys. My firstborn son, Jabali, who has autism. And it's been a journey. It's been a mixed journey of mixed things. It's been a bag
Ups
of
and
all these
downs.
ups and downs. But it is a journey it's a learning process.
Yeah.
But has also taught me a lot of things about an issue that I didn't know before.
Yeah. Okay, so there's what parents want their children to be. You know, there's that picture you have in your mind of what you want your child to be when they grow up. So maybe tell me, like, what values do you prioritize raising the child? Because instilling these values in them is what will create that picture you've always wanted of them when they grow up.
I think every parent's wish is for their child to go out there and be able to be happy, be able to do something that they want, and something they enjoy, and also to make an impact.
Yeah.
And in whatever field they decide to go into, just to be a good person, just to be a good human being, and also ensure that actually they live well with the rest. So in every parent's wish is to have their child be happy, go out there and do something.
Be useful to
Be
the
useful
society.
to the society.
Yeah.
So that is the main point. Be useful to the society, and also live according now to what makes them happy, and also what society also expects from them.
Yeah. Being a parent comes with different responsibilities, you know, and one of the things that parents should really prioritize is creating that supportive environment for their children to grow in. Yeah. So maybe what do you do to, like, foster open communication between you and your child?
I think what happens is, as autism children, sometimes they have problems in communication. That is one of the things that actually is major in terms of children with issues, the issues of autism. Communication sometimes is a bit of a problem. There are some who don't have any kind of speech, but they do. They see and they do. So for us, in terms of a child, that kind of a situation, we really try to embrace now trying to communicate directly, and then try and show what I'm trying to say is that you try and show the child what you're trying to show. It's like if you're telling him directly go somewhere, you communicate directly to the child, and also ensure that actually anytime you're using, we try to use one language so that we cannot confuse the child, so that you can be able to learn one language. So we really tried to see how we can be able to, and also sometimes we do it with action. Yeah, we tried to show him.
It becomes easier to understand.
Okay. Because that has become a very major issue when it comes to now issues of children with special needs. Also, sometimes even parents get to know about their child's autism from now issues of delayed speech. That is where you find most parents now go to a hospital, and that's where they are told now we're not only dealing with an issue of autism, we're also dealing with an issue of speech, we're also dealing with the issue of autism. Because most parents, the first time they go to a hospital is when they realize my child has no speech or has delayed speech. That's when they go seeking help. But for us, we've tried to see how we can be able to try and make him comfortable in the home scenario, and try and see how we can be able to communicate easily with him.
That's really nice. As long as he is comfortable in the home setting, it becomes easier for him to even, like, interact with other people outside there. So a child's education starts at home, and parents are their first teachers. What do you believe is your role as a parent in your child's education?
So education is lifelong. And some of the things that are taught at home are the things that actually even take our children far than even and prepare them for the formal education in a school setup. So I've tried as much as I can to be able to train or educate them on the things that I feel necessary. Even if my son has autism, I don't excuse him in some of the things. When it comes to maybe how they behave,
Misbehavior and all that.
misbehavior or other things, we've tried as much as we can to try and see how we can be able to train them on etiquette, on just how do you behave out there. Sometimes children, but it's not for a parent who is struggling with that, and it has become a bit of a problem. Because some of the children now with autism, you can't really try and show them what society expects of them or discipline in such a way. But for those who have had issues with now that, it's not something that you actually struggle with a lot. You just explain to the people around that my son may not understand some of the things that you guys consider normal. So we've tried as much as we can also for us to behave in a certain way. Because most of the children, they learn from seeing.
They pick up the behaviors.
They pick up the behavior from what they see.
Yeah. So still in the school issue, what's your view on homework in your child's learning process?
I think homework is very important when a parent is involved. Because that's how you get to learn the ability of your child. And what your child enjoys. Because at times you find it's very important when you can be able to work with your child on what are their strengths. Because you find most of the parents, as parents, children with special needs, some of us, what we are looking for is something very small in terms of academic issues.
How important is school in shaping your child into whatever you want them to be in the future? Like, I know school might or might not prepare us for the real world situations, because how you'd be shocked your son is autistic, like shule ije prepare for that. No. You've just been taught like coursework and all that, and it hasn't like really prepared you for the real world situation. So what do you think about that?
I think school is a very good environment for children, especially an inclusive school. Because there's no special world for special children. They have to be in this world. They have to be out here with people. So it's important if we start early to learn that actually they may be different from the rest. How they view things may be different. And not everyone out there is actually as their parents. Not everyone is going to excuse them. Not everyone is going to actually understand them. So it's very nice if a child can be able to go out there and be with the rest. As much as they have special needs, it's very important that actually they be with the other world. So that school is a very important place for them to learn and also socialize. Because actually they're not only learning about the syllabus, they're also learning on interaction and living with the rest of the community. So it's a very good thing if you can be able to have more inclusive schools for our children. So
equality in education.
Yeah, equality in education.
Yeah.
Because as a parent, my child may not learn geometry or statistics or all those, but my child may learn how to interact with the rest. For some of us parents, what we are looking for our children to get to learn is how to live with the rest, how to do daily chores, how to be with the whole. When to know how to play, how to do things, and just to enjoy life. Because as much as we may want a lot in terms of now pushing them to deliver this or that in education, for some of the parents, we're just looking for simple things. So that a child can be able just to enjoy their childhood and be able to play with the rest of the community.
They shouldn't be secluded to special schools.
No.
Should be inclusivity,
Because when they come out, they'll join the other world.
Yeah. You can't keep them secluded for the longest time possible.
It's really important that these children can be able to interact with the rest and be able to also understand. And not everyone will understand them. Not everyone will be nice to them. Some people will actually ask what is their problem in not a very nice way. So it's very important that we prepare our children for the harsh reality that is out there. That we cannot protect them forever. It's good that we prepare them now to go and join the world. So that's the best place.
It's important
to
for them to like learn and unlearn how to relate with other people, because they might not understand them.
So some of them have problems with interaction, social interactions, but now allowing them to be out there. And also it's important that we also allow these other children, the ones we call the regular learners, to understand that not everyone is like them. And some of the people in this world may require a bit of understanding, a bit of time in understanding some of the things. And I think if this was done a long time ago, we would not even have what is happening in the community right now. Right now we have discrimination of persons living with disability, because we find previously maybe it was secluded somewhere, and now the first time somebody is meeting a person with disability is maybe when they're grown-ups, and they cannot wrap it around their head that actually this person is actually living with disability and it's something they've been doing it for a long time. So the only time they are seeing them is maybe when they are begging. So they started thinking that only people or persons living with disability, the only thing they can do is just go around asking for money. But if you can have these people in our communities, in our schools, include them in everything that we do. So I've also encouraged parents out there who have children with special needs.
And that's
keep them in the house.
That's where creating more awareness comes in handy. And talking about disability, I know like most people in the society only picture disability as the physical one. Conditions like autism, people don't know about that. So that's why like they might think they are weird or something, but they don't really understand. When you talk about disability, someone just thinks of the physical one. But there are conditions that are we should understand more and know how to like include them in the society and engage with them just like normal people. What do you believe is the role of technology and media in our child lives, and how do you manage how they use it? Because we are living in a technology world and it's everywhere. You can't like prevent them from using it because everyone is using it for everything. Things have advanced. So maybe how do you manage how they use it?
I think I'd love to. That's a very nice question, because the love of tech, the children with autism, is way out there. Children with autism have a love for phones, technological things, anything that actually excites them in terms of
the pictures
and everything. They have a very big admiration for anything. If it's TV, you find them glued on TV. Some are glued on phones, especially phones. They have a big love for phones, and I think parents can attest. Parents out there can attest to the love of phones, and some of them have been using it as a thing that is actually holding their child together. Some will tell you, "Nikitaka atulie, I just give him a phone." It's a good thing and a bad thing. Depends on what are they learning in that. I think it's really important that we create an environment where they can be able to use that as a tool to learn. Because there are a lot of things out there that can actually help our children learn in a different way. Because maybe for some of the children, a school setup may not be their learning. Some of them even concentrating for maybe an hour or even 30 minutes out of school is problematic. But a phone, they can have a whole day. So it's really important that actually we look at things that can actually help them, material that can actually help them. There are very good material out there that can actually be helping them as they're actually enjoying. They can also be learning, because you find there are something. A good example is like Alpha Blocks. Alpha Blocks has really taught my son a lot of things. It has really taught my son how to spell. It has really taught my son how to actually even do mathematics. Alpha numbers, Alpha Blocks. These are things that are out there that actually he can be glued on and learning something.
Which is a nice thing.
Which is a nice thing.
Yeah.
And also I think it also has a bad effect to it. Because if we allow them to overuse technology, they end up not being antisocial. So it's also important that we cut it.
You manage.
You manage it.
Yeah.
And allow him to interact with the rest.
And that is actually something that everyone should do, because we are all using technology.
Yeah.
So in a way, you should be able to manage how you use it to avoid issues like being antisocial and all that, and also learning.
Yeah, and then I talk
things.
about managing, not only for children,
And
even
I think for adults.
Also for adults.
Yeah.
Let's allow ourselves to have some quiet time. Sometimes just to ask somebody, how was your day? Yeah, instead of being busy talking to people out there, and the people in your house, you don't talk to them. So if it can be possible that even for an hour or two, if you can just switch off that TV, switch off that Wi-Fi,
And interact. Yeah.
like the way we used to before technology, and even have maybe mealtime where everything is off and people can just sit around
Catch up.
and catch
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Because you get to learn a lot from even your child, from his eating behaviors.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may learn maybe he has a problem, because some of the children may not be able even to talk to you, communicate. But when in their feeding, you can tell this child maybe did not feed well in school, or maybe this child has maybe even a toothache or something.
You can now be more keen
Yeah,
to
you
like
can be more
notice
keen.
some things.
And also not only to children, also in the family setup.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can notice something, maybe something is bothering someone, and that's a good time when you're concentrating to ask them if they're okay. And it can also be a good start for a conversation on maybe something that you want to share with everyone in the household. So it's really important that we can be able to balance the use of technology in our children's life. It's really helpful, and at the same time it can really damage them, because if they overuse it, they end up now being dependent on it.
Too much of everything is
Yeah,
harmful.
it's harmful.
Yeah. So maybe to wrap this up, what's your advice to parents who have recently joined the ASD club and they are so new to this? They it's like a shock. They haven't experienced this. Maybe what can you tell them, and what's your parting shot?
My parting shot is this can be done. This is exciting. Raising that child who's thinking differently, who's looking at things differently. It's also an experience. It's also something new for you to learn. It teaches you a lot. It teaches you to look at life differently, to appreciate things that maybe previously you didn't appreciate. Because for someone who takes it just casually, that a child one day wakes up and a child starts to talk, mommy, daddy, and a child does all the rest, you think it's kawaida. But for a child now, for a child who's not taking that step, that's when you realize, okay, so this is a different journey. And also, I'd also would
You
like
have
to encourage,
adjust.
You have to adjust. And also like to encourage them to self-advocate. Don't let people brand your child. I'm not telling you to go and fight physically to everyone who, but it's also important that you can actually explain to people. Like for me, I've explained to I take every opportunity when I'm working with my child, and I look at someone looking at me, and I just tell them, hi, this boy is okay. Some of them want to ask questions, but they don't wonder how they'll start. But someone will ask you, is the child okay? I take that opportunity to self-advocate,
To create more awareness. Yeah.
So in a family setup, don't let people now have misconceptions. Kindly tell them, this child has this and this, he's okay, his thinking is different. That takes, even someone else would just take that opportunity now to go and research more. Like, what is autism? Someone else may be out there now wondering, how do I start the journey of explaining to someone that my child is different? So it's very important that we parents create awareness, because at first most parents are in denial, and also I've become a really I don't know how I can use it. I can say this, but now I can tell a child from a mile away, a child is autistic. I've told parents. There's some parents I've told that I think you need to actually help your son or child or daughter, because now once you are in it, you tend to now grow even in terms of your knowledge, and I'll tell them kindly let experts advise you. Don't follow everything you see online. Something may work for my child,
But it may not
for your
work.
child.
Oh, yeah.
So work with experts in terms of if it is issues of terms of health. There are some who will tell you there's a lot of misconceptions out there. Some will tell you we don't feed them this, we don't feed them this, we don't do this, we do this. Kindly, every child is unique. Like every child out here, every child with autism is also unique in their way. So you may get to a point where you're denying your child everything. Even food, you just now tend to, because now you're being led with people and Google. I'm not saying Googling is bad, but don't apply everything you see there. Try to be guided by professionals in terms of now the care that you give your child. And also, it's a journey that always you learn something new about yourself also, because it teaches you now a lot of things. Sometimes you learn how patient you can be. Sometimes you learn how much you've been taking things for granted. So it's a learning experience.
Thank you so much for making time for us. It was a really educative interview, and I believe the viewers have learned something. We really appreciate.
Thanks a lot for having me.
In conclusion, the journey of parenting an autistic child or a child living with autism undoubtedly comes with its unique set of challenges. However, it's important to recognize and acknowledge that within these challenges lie valuable opportunities of growth and valuable parenting skills. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on all social media platforms at Ready Aiders TV, and for me at Linet_Mumo. Thank you.